Good morning. Welcome to a Saturday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Orthopedic Clinic, and HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. By the way, it is a HUDCO hat party day, so get fired up about that, people, after LSU baseball with a wonderful, thrilling, come from behind win there against Oklahoma last night. So Tigers trailed 3-0.
There's never been a better time for epics.
Sorry about that. Tigers trailed 3-0 in the seventh, and there we go. Sorry, this thing is having a little trouble today. Tigers trailed 3-0 in the seventh. They would break through for a run in the seventh. Two-run homer Oppo Taco by K. Doty in the eighth would tie it. A brilliant defensive play by Trey Morgan after Devin Fontenot had given up the leadoff double, and OU had a runner on third with one out. Liner to first, Trey Morgan snares it, steps on the bag, and then Tigers would get down in the 10th. K. Doty would tie it up in the 10th. And then Jordan Thompson in the 11th would walk it off. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that LSU used more pitchers than I was hoping it would. Blake Money went 6 2/3, was pretty good. They did touch him up a little. They got 8 hits against him. But again, 7 strikeouts, just 1 walk. He didn't give him anything. And that's the key. Money filled up the strike zone. Some of their bloopers and flares found grass. And that's going to happen sometimes, but his defense played well behind him for the most part. 106 pitches for Blake Money. It's a lot, but okay. So Money goes 6 2/3. Riley Cooper came in, couldn't get the out, gave up another run, and actually threw a pickoff attempt wild and then gave up the hit, which scored the third run. Anyway, so Razelman came in, closed out the 7th, pitched the 8th. Fontenot pitched the 9th, and went out there for the 10th. And Trey Schaefer came and finished it off. We saw Vittmeyer and Bryce Collins. So anyway, it was a rough go offensively early for LSU. Jake Bennett from Oklahoma was fantastic. It's 6'6" lefty who went 6 2/3 and really tied LSU up. Allowed just 3 hits. The 1 run was on a base runner that he issued, but it was actually against the reliever, Trevin Michael, that Gavin Dugas got the RBI knock. But anyway, Tigers rally and win. Really, really nice win. To come back and find a way to get that one done. So Tigers win it 5-4 in the 11th. And they'll play tonight against Texas. So we'll be at Pluckers for the HUDCO hat party. 7 p.m. is first pitch. We'll be there. Y'all come join us. If you're not doing anything, Pluckers on Nicholson. I'll be there. Terrio will be there. Have a game watch. Have some fun. Eat some wings. Drink some beers. Hopefully watch the Tigers upset number 1 Texas. So, all right. Let's say some good mornings. Basketball Tigers play in 2 hours. They played 11 a.m. Central against Alabama. Big opportunity here for LSU to really maintain their spot in bracketology here. Hopefully, as right now in the 6-7 spot somewhere in there. Let's see. Nicole Havard, good morning. Hey, Dad, good morning. David Coslin. Lady Tigers struggle. Your thoughts? Well, both gym and basketball, Lady Tiger basketball, lost to Kentucky yesterday. honestly, I was not surprised at all that the Lady Tiger basketball team lost. I heard an interview. It was on Mardi Gras Day with Kim Mulkey. She was on. The guys weren't there, but the fill-in host still had Kim Mulkey on, and it was so funny because Kim Mulkey basically, if you go back and listen to it, in so many words, she said, "Yeah, I don't care about conference basketball tournaments. I mean, we're going to go play hard and all, but I really don't care." Is basically what she said. And I don't think she is at all in any way disappointed to have lost that game. Honestly, their spot in the tournament as a 2 seed is solidified. They are going to host the first 2 rounds at the Maravich Center, and nothing they would have done in this conference tournament would have changed that at all. So I want to go find that clip because I mean it was amazing. I mean how blunt she was, basically saying, "Yeah, I don't care." It was funny. Craig Sandoval, hats off to the Texas kid in the stands last night. Yeah, kind of went Jeffrey Mayer on it, didn't he? Thomas Lamont, Cade freaking Doty. I tweeted yesterday, Cade Doty is adding some zeros to his bank account that he comes through with the Oppo Taco homer, the double in the 10th to tie it again. Just awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Bradley Abity. Pels are on fire. I'm not sure if you saw this also. The Pelicans last night it was just such a busy night. Pelicans beat the Utah Jazz. And let me rephrase. They didn't just beat the Utah Jazz. The Pelicans blew out the Utah Jazz. That's interesting. Coach K's last game there at Cameron. Anyway, Pelicans beat the Jazz 124-90. Beat them by 34 points. Y'all, keep in mind that this is a Utah Jazz team that presently is 4th in the West at 39-23, and you blew them out by 34. Pels are 4 in a row now since the All-Star break. They have figured it out. Needless to say, they have figured out this team, their rotations, their roles. Yeah. How fun is this right now? Oh my goodness. Pels are a half game behind the Lakers now. Pels are in the 10 spot, a game and a half ahead of Portland, and they're a half game behind the Lakers for the 9. Keep it going, man. It's awesome. Tim Edwards, win like last night can set the tone for a season. So, Tim, I'm kind of going to disagree with you there. It was fun, but you play 56, and one never means as much as others. It's really, I mean, it really is true. I mean, you go get a walk-off win like that on a Friday night in SEC play, that's awesome. If you lose the next 2, well, you lost the series. You know what I mean? So I hear you, and it's good that they found a way to win, and all, but it's great that they found a way to win, that you had guys come up in big spots, and all that stuff is definitely true. But shoot, man, last year, I don't know if y'all remember this. Last year, LSU was down, I think in the opener. It was either last year or 2 years ago, where they were down in the opener and ended up walking it off. But it was against some crap, not even Air Force, Army. I think they were playing Army. I think Beloso walked it off. Let me see if this was at the Air Force game last year. They won it. No, they lost 6-5. Huh. I don't know what game I'm thinking of. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Anyway, I guess my point is, like, I don't know. Anyway, I can't find it. Whatever. I guess my point is, like, it's so early. Like, it's hard to say that this sets the tone for a season. You go and win today, against Texas, and then beat Baylor tomorrow. You go there and win 3. You definitely announce yourself as a team to be reckoned with. The flip side of it, I'll tell you, is your offense, your really potent offense, was handcuffed for 7 innings by a pretty good pitcher. I mean, that's a pretty good indicator of what Friday nights in the SEC are going to be like, So it was good for that sense, definitely, to say, hey, look, a Friday night in the SEC going to look like that, and you found a way to win it, which was cool. All right, Trivia Carter, Joey Vincent, Jonathan Martin, Kirk Taylor, Hunter Fournette, good morning. Adam LeBlanc, morning, what time do we play today? So we play at, what's that? Jamie said, was laughing, someone said surprise, what happened? Anyway. LSU basketball is at 11 a.m. So LSU basketball starts just a couple hours from right now if you're watching live. And then baseball's at 7 p.m. tonight. And we, of course, will be at Pluckers for Hudco Hat Party. Y'all come join us. Again, Pluckers on Nicholson, 7 p.m. Brown Bear 765. Morning, Matt. Had to work last night during the game. Missed both the tying run and the walk-off homer because a coworker asked me a question. Oh, what a bummer. Brandon, safe to say, Arizona only legit concern. They got 3 runs on money, but only 1 earned. It is definitely a concern, but more so where they're coming from. The errant throw to first base was on the bunt, wasn't it? Shoot, there was the other play where on the pickoff, Riley Cooper threw it away. So, those are the types of things where I go, okay, that's like the bigger concern, I think, early is that Jordan Thompson leads the country in errors, right? I mean, that's your starting shortstop. But then he walked off the game last night with the homer. So, I guess it depends where it's coming from. But yes, it is a concern right now. But I wouldn't say it's the only concern. I mean, your offense went completely cold last night for 7 innings against a really good pitcher. Cliff Nelson, good morning. More concerning, team pitching or team hitting? I don't know how you'd say pitching. I mean, Blake Money was really good. I mean, there are going to be teams that score runs against you. You allowed 4 runs in 11 innings. I mean, that's going to win most days. But yesterday, the bats really went cold against a good pitcher. I don't know how many times you're going to see, mid-90s from the left side on Friday night in the league, but yeah, you have to find a way to break through against those guys. Let's see. Cliff Nelson, Hudco Hat Party. Let's go. Zachary Moe, what was up with Hilliard warming last night? Yeah, I don't mind it because they're still trying to figure out roles. And if they were committed to winning that game and they wanted their best arm at the time, I mean, keep in mind, sometimes it's about giving an opponent something different to look at. So when you're looking at Blake Money feeding you a steady diet of, this dude who's 6'4", 6'5", whatever he is, 6'7", whatever Blake Money is, with that arm angle, feeding you this steady diet of mid-90s fastballs and breaking stuff low. And then all of a sudden, here comes diminutive Mikhail Hilliard throwing big looping breaking balls. It completely throws off timing for hitters. That's the idea. That's why sometimes you like to go righty-lefty in different arm slots and everything. So that's why Mikhail was warming. I mean, I know what you're saying is if he's starting today, well, I mean, I don't think Mikhail's been so good that you can't justify giving someone else an opportunity to start. So, and the other thing to keep in mind, y'all, is the way that they had been handling Saturday was they give the ball to McHale, who'd give you 3-4 innings, and then they give it to Javen Coleman to try to get you to the a closing spot. Javen would give you 3 or 4. But Javen Coleman's out, so what do? If you don't have that very obvious guy to follow McHale, do you try to start Garrett Edwards or Will Helmers or something like that? Do you move Floyd up a day to Saturday and then you move one of the guys I just mentioned to Sunday? I guess there's all those different options. Edward O, what's up? Shelby Kelly, consistent theme for LSU baseball from the Pulmonary era to the JJ era. We can't hit decent lefties. Tech shut us down, so did OU. Shelby, the Jay Johnson era is literally, 9 games old? Like 10 games old. Can we please pump the brake on the theme from the era? Or maybe it's really hard to hit good left-handed pitching because you don't see it very much. I'm going to push back against that. That's kind of a not good blanket statement to say, it's a theme from era to era when you're 10 games into the Jay Johnson era. Let's see. Adam LeBlanc, Glenn Garner, morning Matt. Really enjoyed this section of AFR on Winston and the Breezeway, but I always enjoy. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Glenn. Appreciate that. Yeah, that was an interview we did with Mike Neighbors, who wrote the Breezeway. Brandon. Girls haven't looked the same since Morris has been out. Need to get her back healthy for the tournament. That's a big part of it too, no doubt. Now you just get a week to chill, right? Jamie XRP, she said the tournament for teams trying to get into the big tournament. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of, she basically said, I don't care about the SEC. You're talking about Kim Mulkey. If there was a Marvel baseball character, his name would be Trey Morgan because of the hair. Brady Smith, morning Matt, went to the Pels game. Herb Jones is amazing. He is, what a find, right? I mean, Herb Jones was the SEC player of the year last year. He was also the defensive player of the year. But he really was not an offensive player. It's why Herb Jones was drafted where he was. I mean, if he were a skilled offensive player coming out of Alabama, Herb Jones would have been a lottery pick. But he wasn't. He just didn't have a real offensive skill set that was translatable. So he fell. But Herb Jones, let's see, I'm looking at his box thoughts line last night. Played 27 minutes, had just 2 points, but his plus minus, he was plus 21 last night. A couple of rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, a block. I mean, he's so active on the defensive end. He's been fun to watch, no doubt, man. Kirk Taylor, Mulkey almost punched the refs. Yeah, that was funny. Matt, I know it's college baseball. Teams can lose. Southeastern beat Arkansas at Fayetteville last night. I know you mentioned an ace pitcher for Arkansas is out for the year. I'm an alum of SLU. Yeah, Matt, Arkansas actually is they're in a tough spot. There's no doubt. I mean, Peyton Paulette was their Friday night guy. Of course, they lost Patrick Wicklander, who went pro. Peyton Paulette was supposed to be their Friday night guy, and we found out at the end of January he's having Tommy John. So, they lost their... I didn't see the score. I didn't see a pitch of that game last night, so I don't know what happened. But yes, Arkansas lost their Friday night guy. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Dave Van Horn right now is trying to figure out a rotation. Bubba Tatum, good morning. At this ballpark for softball jamboree today. Great day to be at the ballpark. All right, man. Ryan Dixon, did Mulkey throw the game purposely to rest the team? No, Ryan didn't throw the game, but she didn't throw the game. But I think it's also true that a team follows the lead of its coach, and when the coach says publicly, this game isn't important, we're going to go play hard, but and then you also get an opportunity to rest Alexis Morris, and I mean, it wasn't a do or die scenario, and I think the team knew it. Everybody knew it. Bernard Snyder, morning Matt, will the LSU Texas game be on TV tonight? Bernard, it's blacked out in Louisiana, so that's what we learned yesterday. It's on AT&T Sportsnet, which is the Astros network, and so because the Astros are blacked out in Louisiana, so is this. If you're outside of Louisiana, you'd be able to watch it in on ATT Sportsnet or the MLB Network. So otherwise, your option is to stream it on YouTube. It was on the Astros YouTube, the Astros Twitter, I think MLB Twitter as well, or MLB.com. So you can stream it, but if you want to watch it on TV, like I watched it on YouTube yesterday. Like if you were watching AFR, I had the game on YouTube on my tablet. We just had the tablet set up on the desk, so it was just on, so we could watch it. Brant Roban, morning. Tigers finally found their offense, better late than never. Absolutely. And to come back, too, in the 10th. I mean, I thought when Fontenot gave up the run in the 10th, I thought it was over. But they rallied back. Brand Roban, what's your biggest issue with the Tigers so far? Too many errors with the infield. Looks like they can't throw the ball consistently at first base. Morgan tries, just bad throws. One thing I will say about Morgan, and yes, that has been a problem completely. But one thing I'll say about Morgan is, as good as he is, oftentimes he tries to make a spectacular play. And that results in throwing errors because he refuses to come off the bag. He tries to keep his foot on the bag and stretch and make a spectacular play when the safer play is come off the bag and prevent the ball from going down the right field line. Matt Godwin, Amy Hyde, Kenneth Kyle, good morning. What's up with softball slumping against teams you wouldn't think they would? I don't know. I do need to follow up there and plug in a little more what Beth and the gang are doing. Quite honestly, you kind of have your hierarchy, and at this point in the season when LSU basketball, men's and women's, are both relevant, the Pelicans are peaking, baseball is starting, and it's a Jay Johnson era, like, then you're into the combine and all the pro day, stuff coming, spring football's coming, like, things just take their priority in the pecking order. And so, just like, for example, when it's football season, we don't talk at all about fall baseball or really basketball in October, November. But when football ends, other things take their spot in the pecking order. So the same will be with softball as we move through. We got plenty of time. Matt Godwin, ship me a Hutco hat to Mobile. I'll wear it proud. Can't make the hat party today from Alabama. All good, Matt. I'd happily send you a hat, man. If you send me your address, I'll happily send you one. Dylan Landry, Richie Berg, Terrier's take on Zion is spot on. I know when Terrier talks Pelicans, I completely zone out. I just ignore him. Kelly Groves, Kyle DeVille, morning Scone. Love seeing my Pels balling out. They're looking awesome right now. Peter Adams, Junior Day. Junior Day? Thomas Lamont, baseball is about winning weekends. Now all you have to do is beat Baylor on Sunday. Big win last night because of that. Jeff McKithen, good morning. Rode Yule, Ty Floyd on the bump. I love that, actually. I mean, I think that's the play. Because I think Ty Floyd is your better option. Anyway, I'm looking at their Twitter. LSU Baseball Twitter hasn't announced it yet. I did not listen to the postgame, so I don't know if Johnson said after the game that Ty Floyd would pitch today. I don't see it here. So maybe Johnson said Ty Floyd would pitch today. I don't see it there. And I didn't listen to the postgame. But I wouldn't be opposed to having Floyd pitch on Saturday. I think he's a better option than what you have. Richie Bird, LSU Beach Volleyball plays at home today. Man, there's a lot going on, huh? Greg Phillips, Deborah Cower, Tony Williams, Brandon DeVille. I don't know if you've seen, but Landon Sims got hurt. I did see that. So Landon Sims from Mississippi State, he was their awesome closer, moved into a starter's role, and he got hurt. So to the point, by the way, that some of you make about LSU and arm care, and we see him snake bit, and like it's everywhere. I mean, I just told you about Peyton Paulette from Arkansas. There's Landon Sims. I mean, it's a thing, It's just a thing. Kelly Presley, I was able to watch baseball on 6 7-4. What cable provider do you have, Kelly? I wonder what channel that was. And where are you? Let's see. Jerry DeLucky, is Drew available to sing happy birthday? Today's my 63rd. All right, Jerry, happy birthday, brother. Glad to hear that. Drew is sleeping, but he may very well make it up before we, he may get up before we're done here. So I will, if he's up, we'll certainly do it. But happy birthday, Jerry. Hope it's an awesome one, man. Let's see. YouTube, smash that like button. 93 watching, only 26 likes. We can get that up, please. 67 there on Facebook. We appreciate y'all. A quick reminder, HUDCO hat party is tonight. Pluckers, 7 o'clock. Pluckers on Nicholson, 7 p.m. I'll be there. Terrio will be there. We'll be watching LSU, Texas, 7 o'clock. Come on out, get you a HUDCO hat. If you, by the way, please, this is what I'm going to ask you. If you already have a HUDCO hat, awesome. Please just wear the one you have. Because it has been very hard to get in supply chain and everything, right? It's been very hard to get inventory. So if you have one, please wear the one you have if you're coming. If not, no worries. We will absolutely give you a hat for as long as we have, inventory. So, and of course, even if you can't come, we'd love to give you a free, no obligation roofing inspection. HUDCOroofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing, HUDCOroofing.com. All right, where are we? Jump back in here. Hey, nobody's asked it. I guess baseball, just winning the way they did last night, got everybody buzzing. Nobody's asked at all about basketball today. And it's a big opportunity, obviously, for Willie Wade and the crew today with Bama. I don't know that winning this game necessarily does a tremendous amount for you, but losing, except holding pat, losing another one would continue to sort of knock you down as a slumping team and might drop you into that 8-9 line. So let's see. Hunter Fournette, Oklahoma first base coach, has to learn to get out of the way. Yeah, there was a play where ball got through Trey Morgan and turned around, ran to go get it, and just flat ran over the Oklahoma first base coach. Glenn Garner, your shirt's making me want tacos. Yeah, shout out Torchies. The Torchies there on campus. Great new sponsor with us on AFR. Great spot. Make sure if you go in, tell them you heard about it on AFR. And please make sure you tell them that Scone sent you in if you go to Torchies. Kurt, play the HUDCO jingle, put me in a good mood. Okay, Kurt, gladly. Wait, hang on. I gotta unmute now. I said muted earlier because I had a problem. I gotta unmute now. I said muted. Sorry. See? Issues. Here we go.
When you need a roof, call someone you know. Scone and Terrio.
All you need is HUDCO.
Call HUDCO Roofing. 364-1007.
All right. Matt Plavidal. My brother told me Southeastern lost to Tulane 23-1 the other day. I like Rise over the last few years. SLU's fallen off. Tyler Cooley, morning, Matt. Another great win for the Pels. LSU baseball with some Alec Box West magic. Let's see. Hunter Fournette, shocker. LSU has super entitled, ignorant baseball fans. You're gonna have to help me there, Hunter. I'm not sure what that was about. John Smithsonian, good morning, Matt. Between the Pels, LSU baseball had a good Friday. Hope you did too. Absolutely. Bummed last night that the Lady Tiger basketball team lost and the gymnastics squad came up just short against Kentucky as well. But moving toward the postseason, though. Keaton Berrien, good morning. Let's go. Yesterday was the first time in my life I watched a baseball game in its entirety. I thoroughly enjoyed all 4 hours. Trey Morgan is beast. The Will Twin was on full display. I'm an instant fan of LSU baseball. What a game. First baseball game. Huck Heaton, that's surprising. I mean, for just as much success as they've had over the years, as popular as the team has been, surprised that's the first one. But yeah, that was a lot of fun, man. You saw high-level pitching from both starters. You saw some pretty clutch hits in late-game scenarios on both sides. A lot of drama, man. That was college baseball played at a very high level, and was a lot of fun. Way more fun when your team wins. Brandon, good morning. How's he rocking, Drew? Sleeping. Randall Alfrecht. What's up, Matt? Would it be safe assessment to say LSU is a bad fielding team? No, because here's what I would say. Trey Morgan is an elite defender at first base. Alex Milazzo is an elite defensive catcher. Dylan Cruz is elite in center field. I would say all of them are plus defenders. I think Jordan Thompson last year showed you he can be a starting caliber defensive shortstop in the SEC. He's had a rough start, no question. And K. Doty at second's fine. Merrifield at third, we're learning. And Jacob Berry in right is not a plus defender. Jacob Berry in the pro level is going to be a first baseman. He's going to be the big dude that just stands on first base and catches the ball and then slugs homers. That's going to be his role in the bigs. But guys that DH in college don't get drafted first overall. They got to play in the field. And so Barry's got to be out there every day. And I know a lot of y'all push back on this, but it's true. Trey Morgan is going to be an outfielder in the pros. You don't put, there is nowhere in baseball, nowhere in Major League Baseball, where teams put athletic dudes at first base. It doesn't happen. You know who plays first base? David Ortiz plays first base. The big fat guy that stands on the base and slugs homers. That's who plays first base. So, I mean, are you better served moving Trey Morgan to right and Barry to first? Maybe. I don't think that's going to happen. Like, if you want a better defensive lineup, you could put Gio in center and move Cruz back to right, and you're immediately better defensively. But whose bat do you take out of the lineup? You're not taking Barry out of the lineup. You move Barry to first. You could take Morgan out of the lineup? No. You're not going to DH Barry because you're not taking Joe Bear out of the lineup. You want to move Barry to third? Okay. Take Merrifield out of the lineup, but if Barry's not a good third baseman, you willing to give up defense at the hot corner? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know that there's a great option right now. So they'll figure it out. It always does. The answers show themselves in time. Let's see. Alex Barnes. What's going on with Frank Wilson and the sexual harassment accusations? Man, you know, I'll tell you here what I said on AFR, which is that when you're talking about a legal matter, okay, and that's what this is. I mean, he has been added to a lawsuit. He has been accused of harassment. I will absolutely let the legal system play out. It is unfair to do so any other way. In this country, we always have an assumption of innocence. The burden of proof falls on the accuser. So that's on Sharon Lewis. I'll tell you, it is very much out of Frank's character, the accusation. I'm not saying definitively one way or another what happened or did not happen. The thing that surprised me the most, I think, is you had this very extensive Hush Blackwell report, which was hundreds of pages long, and there was no mention of Frank Wilson at all in it. You had this initial lawsuit with all of these defendants, and there was no mention of Frank Wilson. That's the tough part, right? Like, okay, why now? And I don't want to be the guy that's dismissing or criticizing an alleged victim, because I think that's in many instances why it's proven why a lot of times victims don't come forward. So I'm not saying what did or did not happen. I don't know. I'll wait till the legal system plays out. What I am saying is Sharon Lewis has a pretty she better have a pretty rock solid case, because there's a lot of circumstantial evidence out there right now that suggests, like, why wouldn't you have said this prior? Anyway, so Trivia Carter, David LeBeau, Matt, do you like the batting order the way it is? Yeah, they flipped yesterday. Thompson and Joe Bear. I kind of like Doty in the 4-hole, but he had a great day yesterday batting third, so I'm fine with that too if you want to bat Barry fourth. I think it's, I guess, but the product is from yesterday, pitchers are going to have to decide who they pitch to, and they're not pitching to Barry, so they're going to pitch to Doty. We talked about this before the season started. I mean, I'll go back and pull the segment on AFR if we need to, but when we talked about, when you look at the top of the lineup where you had Morgan and Cruz and Doty and Barry and Dugas, like, they have to pitch to somebody. And our assumption then was, it was when Doty got one of the preseason it was like a second team preseason All-American by somebody. We talked about it, and my point was the beneficiary this year is going to be K. Doty, because teams are going to pitch around Barry and Cruz, and they have to throw to somebody. I think it's going to be Doty. They'd rather take their shot with Doty than the other ones. So yes, I like it. I don't know that there's a wrong answer with this lineup. Lindsay Raines may have missed it. Did you address? It's Lindsay. It's Landon Sims from Mississippi State, probably towards UCL's, but we talked about it earlier. That's super disappointing. I mean, he was a stud closer for them, moved into a starting role this year, and was injured last night. It sucks. It's also reality of guys that are throwers. I mean, it's just, I mean, I don't mean to be dismissive or in any way come across sounding callous or anything, but that's an illustration of, like, it's not just LSU. For people think, oh, it's LSU. Like, it's not just LSU. It's baseball, guys. Blowout. I mean, I hope that's not the case with Landon Sims. We'll see. Whatever. I don't know what what the MRI has shown. I hope it's not it. I hope it's just some soreness. But yeah, that's significant, man. That's really significant for Mississippi State. Because keep in mind now, if that's the case, and we already talked about Arkansas, Peyton Paulette, their Friday night guy is done for the year, and if that's Landon Sims and he's done for the year, well, I mean, you took two pretty big arms out of rotations from top 10 teams. Let's see. Justin Lucas, Matt, what did you like about the NFL Combine? I like that the two kids from Ohio State both ran sub 4.4 because I think one of them's going to end up in New Orleans. Is the Texas pitcher a lefty or righty tonight? Let me see who they're throwing. I haven't looked at who Texas is throwing yet. My apologies. And I did ask, by the way, Texas won last night. They blew out Tennessee. It was 7-2. My guess is they're going to go with Tristan Stevens. I'll make sure he didn't pitch yesterday. Hang on. Let's see. Against Tennessee, they threw Pete Hansen and Stevens did not start. Yes, my guess is they're going to throw Tristan. My guess is they will throw Tristan Stevens against LSU tonight. He's had a really good start to the season too. I'm gonna get you his stat line. Hang on one second. There you go. He is on the season. All right, so he's 2-0. He's gone. He's a righty, by the way. I think that was your question. Tristan Stevens is a righty. He's a 6'2" righty. All right, he 12 innings pitched, no runs, 8 hits, struck out 7 with just 2 walks. That's in 12 innings pitched. So not quite the strikeout stuff that we've seen from other guys, but has not a lot of run. And they played Rice and Alabama. So a little bit of a different challenge with LSU today. But all right, smash that like button, y'all, on Facebook. Excuse me, on YouTube. Facebook, like the page, share the post. Appreciate y'all for being with us. If you have not done so yet, also on YouTube, please, if you're on YouTube, do me a solid and subscribe to the channel as well. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Every time we go live, this is where we are. So if you would subscribe up on the YouTube channel, set notifications, that's a big, big help. Kyle DeVille, tomorrow at 3, you can watch rerun of LSU Texas on MLB Network. I'm not sure I want to watch a rerun, but... Jason Horn, Matt, where did the Drew cutout go? Well, Erica put some command strips and like taped it to the wall over there, so it's like a fat head now on the wall. Bart St. Germain, what's up? Watch the game on AT&T, okay. Matt Godwin, Landon Sims, yes, we talked about that. Samuel Merrifield, Matt, do you think young arms like Dutton and Taylor could move into the rotation if pitching falters, or are roles set for the year? I do not believe roles are set for the year. I do believe, I want to see more of Dutton. We've only seen him throw 1 inning. It was impressive, but just 1 inning. And I do think Grant Taylor will be an SEC arm. I think Grant Taylor right now reminds me of Blake Money a year ago, or Ty Floyd a year ago, where the stuff is very evident. Like, the stuff is evident that he's going to be a weekend guy in the SEC, but how do you react when you get the ball in a starting role? Like, can you command your pitches? Can you calm the nerves? Can you extend? Like, that's all stuff Blake Money couldn't do consistently last year and has really done well so far this year. So I think the 2 guys you mentioned are candidates. They have stuff to be SEC weekend guys. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. All right. Oh, you have DirecTV. Kelly, that's why you're able to get it as DirecTV. If you have like traditional cable, that's why we're blacked out in this area. Matthew Denicola, all right. We'll be at the PMAC today. Jason Horn, Rizzo, Cecil Fielder. Those are your first basemen, yes. Dudes that stand on the base, catch the ball, and slug. Bob Poole, good morning. Kenneth Kyle, who on the roster doesn't return next year for basketball besides the seniors? Tari Eason, he'll definitely be gone. I think you're going to see guys like Brandon Murray and Efton Reed and Alex Fudge all go through the draft process. And we talk about this every year, so don't be surprised when it happens, okay? Like, excuse me. Because, remember, you can go through the draft process and get feedback and evaluation from scouts and then return to school, which everybody should do. They should all do that. They should all go get that evaluation and see what what scouts say about them and what they need to work on, etc. So, yeah, man, I like Brandon Murray and Alex Fudge and Efton Reed. I mean, should absolutely Gaines. I mean, Imwani. They're likely all going to do it, but the one you're going to lose is Tari Eason. Tari Eason's going to be a lottery pick. I think the other ones all come back. I think at the beginning of the season there was a real concern that Efton Reed would be a one and done, but it's pretty clear he needs to come back. David Caruso, any chance LSU makes a run in the SEC tournament like last year? Yeah. I mean, it's a tournament. Tournament play, look at what happened in the women's tournament yesterday with LSU, losing to Kentucky. Motivation matters. For teams that already have their lot in the big dance set, they're not going to be as motivated to go grind for 3 or 4 days to win a tournament. So, yeah, I mean, can they? For sure. But I don't think they need to. I think if they win today and win one game, win today and then win one game in the SC tournament, I think you avoid the 8-9 game and potentially could get as high as a 6. I disagree on Efton Reed transferring. Kyle DeVille. LSU Lady Tigers will come close to winning the chip. If not this year, they'll get it next year, just my opinion. Kyle DeVille, please tell me what the LSU Lady Tiger roster will look like next year. I'm going to guess you don't have a clue. But please tell me if you know. I mean, if you're just leaning on saying, I think Kim Mulkey's awesome and is going to win a championship, I'm with you. I don't know if it'll be next year. I think transfer portal helps, right? Because you can make over a roster more quickly now. But I would typically say by year 3 you see it often, right? Give a coach 3 years to build a roster. That's typically when you see it pop. All right. Oh, hang on 1 second. Drew's backpack speaking. Talk amongst yourselves. Trivia, give them a topic. Hudco hat party. Ooh, boy. Yo, my people are out cold. All right. As always, shout out to Brock. Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Remember, you need an orthopedic, go to Brock. The After Hours Clinic is open today and on the weekends. So bypass the ER, go to Brock. And of course, Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. Have Hudco pinned there in the comments on both. If I would so highly recommend, we had hail, we had a major storm in our area in the past year. We're getting into storm season again. The spring showers that come and hailstorms. Let us come to a free, no obligation roofing inspection. Like, I don't want to get down on my knees and beg, but I'm telling you, like, 2 things. Number one, it's insanely beneficial to you to make sure you don't have roof damage, because if you do, a lot of times, even if it's a small leak, what happens is over time that small leak softens and then you end up seeing a water spot, but you don't see it until you have a water spot on your ceiling. And the roofing inspection is free. There's no obligation whatsoever. You don't have to be home. It's literally, you're just giving us permission to come to your house and to walk your roof. And one of our field inspectors will Basically, put together a report to see if you have damage, and if you do, we'll help you file a claim. If not, great. You're in tip-top shape, and then obviously that helps us tremendously. So I mean, that's how you generate leads, is by getting on roofs, because let's be honest, you don't know if you have damage until you get on a roof. So, and unless if you have been on your roof and you know what you're looking for, you have no idea if you have damage. So anyway, we'd appreciate it. Hudco Roofing, HudcoRoofing.com. And Hudco Hat Party tonight, Pluckers, 7 o'clock, LSU Texas game watch. Come get you a Hudco hat, eat some wings, drink some beer, watch the game with us. We're looking forward to it. Connor O'Neill, what's good, man? Pels are half game behind the Lakers, and Lakers play Golden State tonight. I'm so excited about that, y'all. When the Pels are good, it's just better. It's another thing to talk about. And when they made the playoffs a couple of years back with AD, it's been 4 years now, but when they made the playoffs with AD and won that opening series against Portland and then played Golden State, it's just fun, man. It's way more fun when the team is in the playoffs and you have something that matters. And this team's gonna be in the play-in. The 8 seed is probably a little ambitious, but I think they're gonna get into that play-in. Ryan Rogers, morning. Does AFR have a tournament challenge for March Madness? So Ryan, we typically do a bracket challenge with our audience, but I don't know what that looks like this year, what the prize is. But yeah, we typically do a bracket challenge. And it's station-wide, by the way, not just AFR. D, what's up? Do you listen to Sports Shorts? No, I'm not really in the car on Saturday mornings. I mean, Drew and I, when I take him to Daddy's work and he goes and rides the elevator, sometimes we'll catch some of it, but not a ton, honestly. And I like Ronnie. It's Ronnie Rance who does Sports Shorts. And Joel and Buzzy's with him during baseball. I mean, I know all the guys really well. It's just I'm not. That's not really part of my routine on Saturdays. Jason Mobby, why? Did they say something? Let me know. Jason Mobby, what's good? Late to the show. Watch the game on direct. Yeah, so DirecTV. If you have DirecTV, you get it, right? But if you're on standard cable in Baton Rouge, you're SOL. Matt Lusto, hope you're doing well, by the way, Jason. Matt Lusto, looking forward to seeing Hilliard's Bender in real life from behind the plate today. Nice. Cousin got us some great seats. Awesome. I mean, what a great venue. Bregman was on the broadcast yesterday for a bit, too. He did a great job. If you were with us on Tuesday on AFR, when we had Bregman, he said he was going to try to work his way into the booth, and he did. Brian Penn, good morning from Salem, Virginia. What a game last night. Congrats to Southeastern beating Arkansas. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Safe travels on the road today. Matt Lusto had 2 solicitors this week. One of them tried to scare me, saying insurance company can randomly revoke coverage of a roof if it's too old. In Texas, have you ever heard that? Seems like a selling tactic. So here's what I'll tell you, Matt. Number one, I hate door knockers. We'll never be that. Because I don't want someone coming to knock on my door, and we're not going to knock on anybody's door. That's something HUDCO will never do. We will never, we collectively as a company made that determination when we started, we are never going to do that. And it's a practice that works for a lot of companies, because you'll go canvass a neighborhood, you'll knock on 100, 200 doors, and if 10 of them, 20 of them let you hop up on the roof, and 5 of them have damage and lead to, filing a claim that gets approved, well, I mean, that's lucrative, but it's just not something that we want to do. We're not going to do exactly what you just described. For exactly the reason, Matt, that you just said. I don't want people posting anywhere on the internet saying HUDCO is just door knocking and scaring me, and we're never going to be that. We're never going to be that. So, as far as randomly revoking coverage, it looks like that you put TX I do not know Texas state law, so I'm not even going to pretend to know. I cannot fathom a scenario where insurance companies would legally be allowed to just revoke coverage without at least some type of warning. Like, you can't randomly revoke coverage. I can't believe that's the law in the state of Texas, but I do not know. I'm not a Texan. I don't know what Texas state law is. We're not licensed in Texas. We don't work in Texas, so I don't know. Tyler Collins just tuned in. What's going to happen with the Frank Wilson situation? Talked about it a bit ago, Tyler. I don't know. LSU certainly seems, and the point that I made and will continue to make is, with legal matters, as I did with the Hush Blackwell stuff, I will not comment until evidence has been disclosed and we know. So it was a funny sound on game day. And we know more. You're just talking about a very legitimate legal accusation, and I'm just not gonna flippantly comment. So LSU is standing behind Frank Wilson, and the point that I make is I think Sharon Lewis has a pretty tough case because, I mean, she's already previously filed her lawsuit that didn't include Frank Wilson. Now it's been amended to include Frank Wilson, and there was nothing about Frank anywhere in Hush Blackwell. You certainly would have thought that with the hundreds of pages of documentation and evidence in Hush Blackwell that somewhere along the way Frank's name would have been mentioned if there were legitimacy. And it's certainly out of character. So we'll see, but I mean, candidly, I'm skeptical, but of the accusation. But I also never want to be. I don't want to be the guy that's like shaming an accuser, because it might be valid, but it might be like Duke lacrosse, which is why I think you always just wait and you let the legal system play out. Let's see. Kenneth Kyle, Matt, who does LSU add with the remaining 4 spots in your opinion? They definitely need a tight end. If there's a tight end available, I think that's at the top of the list because they don't have one right now. If there is another starting caliber offensive lineman, I think they would absolutely take him. I think if there is another starting caliber cornerback, you absolutely take him. And then the one other spot worth watching is a quarterback. Because as you go through spring, we're going to have to see how it all plays out. They're doing a feature on the camera crazy. It's pretty good. As you go through spring, what if you come through spring and Nussmeier is running third and transfers? Well, you need a quarterback. You can't go into the season with 2 players. So, anyway. So that's what I think. I think they're looking at tight end, offensive line, cornerback, and if needed, maybe quarterback. Matt, does Sharif return? I think so. I haven't heard one way or another, but I would certainly think that he does come back for senior year. Patrick Cason, good morning. All right, Facebook. Like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. YouTube, smash that like button. Only 45 likes. We can get that number higher. If you're watching on YouTube, just take a quick moment. Just X out of the live chat, hit the thumbs up. We would appreciate it greatly. Oh, the other thing. One other thing. There we go. There it is. All right. Best of 225 nominations have gone out. Voting is now open. Yours truly was nominated for Best Radio Personality. Sincere thanks to everyone who filled out a nomination. If you would, voting is now open. Would love it if you vote. I just posted the link. If you could just take a quick second, click on the link, vote for Best Radio Personality. I was nominated for that. And then 104.5 ESPN has been nominated for Best Radio Station. So even if you live outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, that'd be awesome. We appreciate the vote. So thank you so much. Couple more here. Michael Touche. Could you talk about recruits coming next year for men's basketball? What types of players are they? Honestly, don't know. They got 2 5-stars. Let's see. All right, so they got Julian Phillips, who's the power forward, the number 12 overall player in the country. They've got Devin Ree, who's a small forward, who's a 4-star. Those two have signed. And Johan Traore is the 5-star center who someone mentioned earlier. He's out of Arizona. Number 15 player in the country, another 5-star. So that's the 5-star center they're talking about coming in. But boy, I'd like to have him and Efton Reed. So I don't know that Reed necessarily transfers, but we'll see. See what happens. That's where they are. And then remember, like, the thing that's just evident is Will is going to manipulate. Well, let me not say manipulate. He's going to maneuver within the roster however he has to, right? If they need spots. You're going to lose Days. You're going to lose Xavier Pinson, a couple of seniors. You're going to lose Easton to the draft. That's 3. Well, right now, you've got 2 that have signed letters of intent, and you got Devin Reese. You got Johan Traore is the third that is committed but hasn't signed. So those are your 3. Well, if you have the opportunity to add a transfer, well, someone's spot isn't going to be there, right? I mean, or another premier prospect, wants to Austin Deckill's running the 40 at the combine. His hair flowing in the wind. Look at the big man move. Look at that big man move. Love it. All right, any more? Brad Ellerby was below so that hit the homer against ULM. Okay. Kenneth Kyle, why does Amwani eat up minutes? He's 0 threat in scoring. That's not true at all. Amwani is your best three-point shooter. He shoots the highest three-point percentage on the team. He takes a higher quality shot. Mwani from the corner is, it's a coin flip. It's a 50-50 proposition. He shoots, I think he's at 47% from 3 on the season. So I have no problem at all with Mwani playing those minutes. Let's see. He is Imwani is 46.8% from 3. He's 47% from 3. By far the best three-point percentage on the team. Doesn't take a ton of them, but he's 50-50 on that corner 3. So I'm okay with it. I would rather them take a fewer number of high percentage threes than volume, because it's too many wasted possessions. I don't need Xavier Pinson going 0 of 7 from 3. I don't need Efton Reed attempting a 3. I don't need Sharif O'Neal attempting a 3. Those are wasted possessions. Brandon, what's good? Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate that. Tracy Poole, good morning. I need some extra mojo to beat Texas in baseball today. We're gonna have to see, man. I hope that the offense gets rolling today for baseball. That'd be a lot of fun if they go mash. I got tied up yesterday by a really good lefty from Oklahoma, who'd yet to allow an earned run this year. But Blake Money held his own also. You can win a lot of games with the performance Blake Money gave you. You can win a lot of Friday nights in the SEC with that performance. So hopefully they're able to keep it going tonight. See if they can go swing the bats a little bit. Texas beat Tennessee last night 7-2. So I think LSU's bats will get going. I think they're going to need to. Someone mentioned that it seemed like Ty Floyd was going to go tonight. I haven't found that anywhere. I haven't found that where Jay Johnson said that. I'm not saying he didn't, but I just haven't found it. And I'd be okay with Ty Floyd pitching today. I'd be okay with him being your Saturday guy. Yeah, I don't see it. Yeah, so anyway. All right. Any more? Jay Reach, what was Barry's average last year? Right-handed. He looks much more comfortable left-handed. You know what's funny, Jay Reach? That's funny you said that. So yesterday during the game, right? The game was on during AFR. And so Terrio and I were watching during the break, and he made the same comment. He said, Barry from the right side is good, but this was the comment he made, so if you want to watch this. So from the right side, Barry's swing is very long. And when you get long with your swing and it's not quite as compact, you obviously lose power. He said from the left side, he's just filthy. And look at the homer that Barry hit on Wednesday night, the one that went 413 feet, over the right field bleachers. He's, I agree completely. If there's value in switch hitting, okay. And maybe, I'll tell you this, maybe Terrio's comments stem from the fact that when he was in the minor leagues, the Cubs tried to turn him into a switch hitter. And so sometimes teams want to see that. They want to see that versatility. But I agree. And I don't know. You know what? Let me see if I can find that. You see, this was in March. So this was early in the season. So this was early in the season last year. As a left-hander, he had 417. As a right-hander, he had 353. Now, this was earlier, but as a right-hander, he had 5 homers. He only had 1 homer as a lefty. Anyway, that was early. That was in March, so that wasn't even through the full season. I don't know if they have splits from either side of the plate. I'm trying to find it. It's a good question. Yeah, it's a great question. I don't see the splits after last season. Let me see if I can find it. That's a really good. It's got to exist somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Keith H. I keep smashing the like button. Waiting for the hat party. Keith, are you coming to the hat party tonight? I get to meet Keith H. if he's out there tonight. We will be at Pluckers again. One more time, we'll be at Pluckers on Nicholson, 7 o'clock for the game tonight. 7 o'clock, LSU, Texas. Terrio will be there. I'll be there. We'll be slinging Hudco hats. We'll be eating wings, drinking beers. Hope to see a lot of you out there. Ultimate Warrior, what's good? Any more? Going once, going twice. Let's see. Caldwell, you're right, Matt. I don't know much about basketball. Love LSU, won't count them out. Kenneth Cobb, only thing is he averages 3-something points a minute. He's be shooting more than Pinson. I would agree with that completely, but that's more on Pinson than it is on Imwani. Travis Bowman, shout out from Campinas, Brazil. Go Tigers. There you go. Appreciate that, Travis Bowman. Thanks for watching, man. Over down there in Brazil, I should say. I think we're done. All right. Keith won't be there in person, but he'll be there in spirit. We'll do the Hudco hustle for you in spirit there, Keith. All right. We're going to bounce. Y'all have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching LSU basketball in 56 minutes. Looking forward to it. Baseball tonight as well. Y'all have an awesome, awesome weekend. Y'all come out to the Hudco hat party tonight if you can. Again, Pluckers, Nicholson, 7 o'clock. Come get you a hat, eat some wings, drink some beer, watch some baseball. It'll be great to meet all of you. So hopefully we see you there. All right. Peace.